Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
If you asked someone what they're afraid of, their answer would probably be snakes, spiders, and other creepy animals. You wouldn't hear anyone say plants, which is ironic because some plants are dangerous enough to kill you. Here, let's have a look at 10 of the most dangerous plants. Some of these might look like they came straight from hell. No matter how intriguing, you must never touch them. Number 10. Deadly nightshade. Let's start with a plant that is pretty self-explanatory. No one would want to have something deadly in their garden. But what does deadly nightshade look like, and what can it do to us? Well, you can recognize this plant by its blackberries. I think even the color of it is quite scary already, so I don't see why you would want to try it. The roots, the stems, the leaves, and overall the whole plant is full of alkaloids that could cause a terrible rash just by lightly rubbing your skin against it. And 2 of its berries are more than enough to kill a child, and 10 or 20 berries can kill an adult. So please, don't let this grow near your home. It's not the kind of plant you want, trust me. Number 9. Oleander. Not everyone gets plants for the purpose of feeding themselves. Some people just like to have nice flowers around them. However, oleander is a flower you should probably not bring near your living space. Its colorful petals and how it blooms during the summer might make you want to get one, but this plant has been highly toxic to the human body. Some of its parts have cardiac glycerides, which can cause cardiac toxicity and all sorts of problems with your digestive system. People who eat them have been known to suffer many health issues that sometimes even result in a coma. Now, I know most of you wouldn't eat a flower just like that, so you might be fine. But if you have kids around you who like to put things in their mouths, then this flower should stay away from them. Number 8. Octopus stinkhorn. Yes, I know what you must be thinking now. This looks absolutely disgusting and horrid. Surely it must be dangerous to us in some way. Well, with that, you are actually wrong. This entry on our list is called the octopus stinkhorn, and it is easy to see why it would be named after an octopus. As it grows, it develops long finger-like growths that look like tentacles, so scientists named it the octopus stinkhorn, or the devil's fingers. No matter how grotesque it may look, this plant is actually the most harmless on our list today. The reason it is on this list is because you'd assumed it was dangerous and avoid it like the plague. There's also a reason why it's called a stinkhorn. It smells like rotting flesh and dog poop. As you approach it, you'll get more than your desired whiff of such terrible odors. It attracts flies with this terrible stench, as it relies on the flies to carry its pores around for reproduction. This is the same idea as how butterflies and bees carry pollen around. This version is just much weirder. Number 7. Lily of the Valley. This ornamental flower is quite popular in outdoor gardens. When you look at it, you can see that these flowers can be a great visual addition to any outdoor greenery. But apparently some people have not realized just how toxic it can be. The lily of the valley has cardiac glycosides and saponins, which are elements that can do some serious damage to your heart if you were to eat them. Some people and even animals have gotten terribly sick just by drinking water the plant was in. So that gives you an idea of how awful it would be if you were to eat the whole plant. Now, I don't see why anyone would want to eat it. Number 6. European spindlefruit. Found all across Europe, the European spindle tree is quite the beautiful and is highly revered among artists because of the exceptional quality charcoal it produces. During autumn, the plant puts out pink-red pods that open up to reveal equally adorable orange-coated seeds. Birds eat the fruit without any problems, but they're an absolute nightmare to people and pets. The brightly colored fruits contain several toxic substances that have some serious effects if ingested. Mild cases of poisoning can lead to hallucinations, vomiting, and dizziness. These gradually progress in severe cases, leading to kidney and liver damage and eventually death. Symptoms sometimes take as long as 18 hours to kick in, proving a false sense of well-being to victims. Most poisoning cases are reported in kids since they're more likely to get duped by the fruit's showy colors. And if the fruit doesn't kill you, then better be ready for endless bathroom visits. On top of being toxic, European spindle fruits also have a laxative effect, a strong laxative effect. The berries are routinely used used in small doses as a treatment against indigestion, but that's only after the extracts have been sufficiently boiled, usually for 1 to 2 hours. Number 5. Porcupine tomato. Just looking at this next one, it's quite obvious as to why you should not touch it. It is completely covered with long horns, as its name infers. The porcupine tomato is actually a close relative to our red edible tomatoes. You can see a resemblance when comparing both fruit to each other. However, this plant is a much more violent version of our normal tomato plant. The bright orange thorns that grow on it contain toxins, and when pricked by those, our body reacts to the toxins with flu-like symptoms. The fruit is not edible, and when consumed, an adult would likely have stomach issues, leaving them under the weather for a while. While the porcupine tomato can't make an adult seriously ill, it should be kept far away from small children, as eating only one fruit may prove lethal to the child. The best option is to carefully remove these plants from your garden, but there's sure something you shouldn't touch. Number 4. Strychnine. If you heard about strychnine before, you probably thought it was some sort of strange chemical product in a secret lab somewhere in the world. However, this chemical comes from nature, and it's produced by a tree that you might want to stay away from. This tree is also native to India and some parts of Southeast Asia, and it's known for its dangerous effect. It is the source of a poisonous substance that has been used to kill animals. It's also been used by some evil people who want to end the lives of their enemies. Yikes. These trees look ordinary, and you wouldn't think it's capable of such deadly chaos until you see the thick leaves on its branches and the dark seeds in them. These seeds are the carriers of the poison, and ingesting one of them can cause you dizziness, cramps, pain in your eyes, and paralysis. But not everything about this plant is bad news. Strychnine has been used to treat cancer, so it seems that some good can actually come out of all this toxicity. Number 3. Rosary pea. If you live in Florida, you might be familiar with this plant. The rosary pea is not only dangerous, but also a very invasive plant. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, each plant seed contains a type of poison called abrin. And apparently there's enough abrin in a single seed that could lead you to your death if you were to swallow it. For that reason, the rosary pea has been used as a biological weapon, and some people even link its uses to terrorism. Also, in parts of the Caribbean, some people have used them as jewelry due to their bright colors, but when people started selling the products to places like the UK, the selling of these had to be stopped because they found out how toxic they could be. So it might look like a beautiful plant, but don't let it grow near you. Number 2. Aconite. This flowering plant grows in the mountainous regions of the northern hemisphere. Aconite is also known as monkshood, wolfsbane, and leopardbane. Almost every single part of this plant contains a poisonous alkaloid. In particular, the roots and tubers are incredibly toxic in nature. Ancient Greeks used to make use of the toxin to kill leopards and wolves, which is why it's also called wolfsbane. This plant can reach a height of up to 6 feet. Its large blue, purple, and white mixed flowers are incredibly pleasant to look at, and they resemble monastic heads. An accidental intake of aconite might result in burning, vomiting, and diarrhea. It can also cause variations in blood pressure, heart irregularities, and can result in a coma. Number 1. American pokeweed. It's quite tempting to try fruits from trees and bushes once we see them growing, but you should totally avoid that if you are not sure what kind of fruit is right in front of you, because eating unknown fruits could be dangerous. Like the pokeberries that grow in this plant called American pokeweed. This plant can be found all over the US and other parts of the world, and it's known for its purple berries, the kind of fruit that you should never eat. These things can cause you nausea and vomiting, as well as low blood pressure. And again, if you have children, you should totally keep them away from this kind of plant. They usually mistake the berries for grapes, so teach them to differentiate edible plants from non-edible plants and warn them to stay away from trying unknown fruits. Have you ever had a bad experience with plants? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and also share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.